Here are today's top stories. Solicitor General Jose Calida insists that Senator Antonio Trillanes IV has no copies of his application for amnesty or admission of guilt for his various acts of rebellion against the government. The International Monetary Fund supports the passage of the proposed rice tariffication bill. The Philippines ranks 13th place among the world's tourism powerhouses. And 9 Filipinos on board an Air Niugini flight that crashed in Micronesia are declared safe. Good day, I'm William Theo.
And I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom.
Solicitor General Jose Calida insisted that Senator Antonio Trillanes IV has no copies of his application for amnesty.
Calida also said that records manifesting his admission of guilt for the crimes of rebellion he committed during the time of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo are missing. Rom Dulfo has this story.
Solicitor General Jose Calida says Senator Antonio Trillanes IV deceived the trial courts into granting his motions to dismiss the coup d'etat and rebellion charges against him on the false premise that he had already complied with all the requirements to be eligible for amnesty. Last August 31, President Duterte issued Proclamation 572 declaring voided ab initio the amnesty granted to Trillanes by his predecessor, President Benigno Aquino III in 2010. Calida said Trillanes had failed to meet the minimum requirements under Proclamation No. 75 issued by Aquino. Calida said when Trillanes applied for amnesty, the people expected that he would comply with the requirements for the grant. Calida said Trillanes refused to admit the charges of coup d'etat and rebellion against him. Makati RTC Branch 150 Judge Elmo Alameda cited the missing application document as the main reason in granting the government prosecutor's plea to issue an arrest warrant and hold departure order against Trillanes on August 27. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
The Philippine government is ready to respond and assist Indonesia after a powerful earthquake and tsunami struck central Sulawesi on Friday. The Department of Foreign Affairs has extended condolences to the bereaved families of the victims. Ambassador to Indonesia Lee Hyong-wee said the magnitude 7.4 earthquake and tsunami struck the provincial capital of Palu and neighboring city of Donggala. The Indonesian Disaster Mitigation Agency placed the initial death toll of at least 384 with more than 500 injured at some 29 still missing. We said the only Filipino in the area, a detainee serving his sentence at the La Paz Penitentiary, was confirmed safe. Meanwhile, Malacanang on Sunday extended condolences to Indonesia. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said in a press statement that it extends its condolences to the Indonesian people and that the Philippines is ready to respond and extend assistance to its fellow member of Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN. DFA Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano expressed grief with the Indonesian people and stand hand in hand with them in prayer for all of those who lost their lives.
The House Minority Leader is looking into the possibility of filing an ethics complaint against Acts OFW Party List Representative John Bertiz III, who was caught on video going against security protocol and harassing a security screener at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA. Bertiz was caught in a CCTV security video allegedly refusing to remove his shoes as part of the NAIA security measure and snatching off the ID of the airport personnel identified as Hamilton Abdul. In an ambush interview, House Minority Leader Danilo Suarez said they will definitely call for investigation on what happened. Suarez said other issues have cropped up involving the party-list lawmaker, including his controversial no-license joke about special assistant to the President Bongo during a recent oath-taking ceremony and a shouting match with United Filipinos Migrante leader Eman Villanueva in Hong Kong last year. Both incidents were caught on video, which went viral. Meanwhile, Bertiz has offered no excuse for the way he acted when he went through the security checkpoint at the NAIA Terminal 2 domestic departure area on Saturday.
The International Monetary Fund has expressed support for the Philippine government's bid to implement rice tariffication, which will ensure enough supply of rice in the market. IMF officials supported the plan to replace the rice import quota system with one based on tariffs. The IMF, however, stressed the need to safeguard the welfare of small farmers affected by the reform. Rice tariffication will replace the rice importation quota system, which limits the entry of imported rice. Meanwhile, the Department of Finance says the proposed measure has a provision that sets aside revenues from rice tariffs to benefit small farmers. On the other hand, the version of the bill at the House of Representatives earmarks all tariff revenues for the farmers.
Locals in Negros Occidental will soon be able to buy affordable rice in convenience stores and supermarkets. A total of 22 branches of 2 supermarkets and a convenience store will soon sell NFA rice for 27 pesos per kilogram. These stores are included on the list of supermarkets and other commercial establishments covered by Memorandum of Agreement between the National Food Authority, the Department of Trade and Industry, and the Philippine Amalgamated Supermarkets Association, or PAG-ASA. Under the agreement, consumers may buy up to 2 packs or 4 kilograms of NFA rice in participating establishments. The selling will probably start in the next 2 weeks, depending on the compliance of the establishments.
Still to come, the Philippines ranks 13th place among the world's tourism powerhouses. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues. Marines from the US, Philippines, and Japan will be participating in this year's kaagapay ng Mandirigma ng Dagat Kamandag exercises in various locations in the country from October 1 to October 10. Captain Gerber Anthony Belonio, Philippine Marine Corps spokesperson, said around 1,000 US, 350 Filipinos, and 100 Japanese Marines will be taking part in the said exercises. He said Kamandag activities include opening ceremonies at the Subic International Airport in Olongapo City, Zambales, boat raid in Ternate, Cavite, amphibious landing exercises at the Naval Education and Training Center in San Antonio, Zambales, and closing out event at the Philippine Marine Corps headquarters in Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City. Scenarios for this year's Kamandag exercises include counterterrorism, humanitarian assistance, and disaster relief. Belonio added that the Japanese contingent will act as observers in the various exercises involving Philippine and U.S. Marines. Belonio said that terrorism is one aspect that is common to all the participating countries, which is why it is an important part of the exercises.
It's surely more fun in the Philippines, especially for tourists, as the World Travel and Tourism Council recognizes the country as one of the fastest growing tourist destinations in the world. More on this from Miguel Hill.
The Philippines ranked 13th among the top 15 tourism powerhouses that recorded absolute growth within the last 7 years. The Philippines was identified in the 2018 World Travel and Tourism Council's Power and Performance Report, wherein 185 states were assessed based on its travel and tourism sector's performance from 2011 to 2017. Each were measured by travel and tourism GDP, foreign visitor spending, domestic spending, and capital investment. DOT Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat earlier noted that Philippine tourism is a booming industry. During the Ministerial Roundtable of Tourism Expo 2018 in Japan on September 20, she revealed that the country is more than 5 years ahead of its domestic tourism targets. In 2017, the tourism industry alone accounted for 12.2% of the Philippines' GDP, a figure which exceeds the 10% share of GDP the government targeted for 2022. In the same year, at least 96.7 million domestic tourist arrivals were recorded, exceeding the 86.2 million target set for 2022. A total of 6.62 million international arrivals in 2017 were seen, an 11.3% increase from 2016. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
Malacanang says President Rodrigo Duterte's statement on the extrajudicial killings, or EJK, could not be considered as a ground for impeachment. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque asserts during a regular palace press briefing that former Ateneo School of Government Dean Tony Lavinia is simply wrong since he is not a specialist in the field. Lavinia had reportedly described Duterte's EJK remark could allegedly be held liable for culpable violation of the Constitution, which is an impeachable offense. Roque reiterates the context of what the president said. EJK is the only criticism labeled against him, and no one has even accused him of corruption. Roque emphasizes, actually there is no crime under domestic law or international law as EJK. Roque has even challenged Lavinia to file an impeachment case against the president. Roque is confident it will also be dismissed by Congress, not because it is a political process, but because it's utterly bereft of merit.
Amidst the daily grind in Zamboanga City, a street artist draws attention with his simple yet colorful drawings. He draws not simply for profit, but to give life to his imagination. More on this from Benj Bondoc.
Why does a man paint or sketch an artwork? Is it to grab and interpret either reality or fantasy and thus rule over and suspend them? This is what probably happens to Bador Bandoy and the pedestrians who gather around him as he sketches in downtown Zamboanga City. There is a kind of flatness and crudeness in his pieces, somewhat childlike in quality, which is probably why they are interestingly innocent, catchy, and dramatic. Bandoy likes to paint imaginary mosques. He also paints humans displaying fantastic features, mythic animals, even fishes, birds, and everything else. He always carries with him folios of his works, which he sells for only 30 pesos a piece. Often though, students commission him to draw pictures for them, and that's how he gets to earn real enough money. You would also see a donation box in case appreciative spectators like to donate a coin or two, a practice by street artists in art-crazy cities like London and Paris. Bandoy once worked odd jobs. Sometime in the past, his interest was caught by the drawings made by street children hanging around the city sidewalks. He tries his hand, and 2 years ago, he has been professionally living as a street side artist. Life is tough for many, but for Bandoy, it is probably as colorful, wonderful, and easy as he makes it in his artworks. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondoc.
Up next, 9 Filipinos on board an Air Niugini flight that crashed in Micronesia are declared safe. Rare species of sharks that once populate Makahalar Bay have reappeared. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Isa sa nakaugaliang hanap buhay ng mga kababaihan sa Marawi City ang paghahabi ng iba't ibang disenyo ng mga tela na kanila pang namana sa kanilang mga ninuno. Sa Barangay Dayawan, mayroong 17 kababaihan na ang tanging hanap buhay ay ang paghahabi. Sila ay tinaguriang Dayawan Loom Weavers. Dalawa sa kanila ay sina May Sara at Samira na umaga pa lang ay bitbit na ang kanilang mga kagamitan papunta sa barangay hall kung saan nila hinahabi ang mga tela. Ang pangalawang palapag ng barangay multi-purpose building ang nagsisilbing pagawaan ng mga tela at dito rin nakadisplay ang mga gawa ng Dayawan Loom Weavers. Bahagyang naudlot ang paghahabi ng grupo nang umatake ang Maote Group sa Marawi City dahil kinailangan nilang lumikas kasama ang kanilang pamilya. Pero ang kanilang mga kagamitan sa paghahabi ay hindi na nila naisama. Kwento pa ng pinuno ng Dayawan Loom Weavers na si Sadia Abdulrahman, 59 anyos, labis silang nalungkot ng pagbalik nila sa kanilang mga tahanan ay nawala o kundi man ay nasira na ang kanilang mga kagamitan sa paghahabi.
Naiwan namin dito na wala yung mga kagamitan.
Pero kasabay nito ay ang pagdating naman ng mga tauhan ng Department of Social Welfare and Development o DSWD-12 na siyang nakatuklas ng potensyal ng Dayawan Loom Weavers. Agad nilista ng mga taga-DSWD-12 ang pangalan ng kanilang mga miyembro at isinailalim sa Sustainable Livelihood Program o SLP ng DSWD. Layunin ng SLP na i-monitor at palaguin ang pinagkakakitaan ng mamamayang nagsisikap na umasenso sa buhay. Kabilang sa benepisyo ng SLP ay ang Seed Capital Fund kung saan ay bibigyan ng cash assistance na 10,000 piso ang bawat benepisyaryo para makatulong sa kanilang hanap buhay ng mga tulad ni May Sara at Samira. Maging si Barangay Dayawan Chairperson sa Rani Mutin ay malaki ang pasasalamat sa DSWD dahil sa pagkakapili ng tanggapan na mapabilang ang kanyang mga kabarangay sa mga benepisyaryo ng SLP.
Pumasok sila sa amin, hinahanap kung ano talaga ang may tutulong nila. Yun lang ang binigyan ng DSWD ng livelihood. Sana nga, nandito kayo, nandito ang DSWD, nandito ang mga NGOs. Malaking tulong talaga yung ginawa ng DSWD.
Maliban sa 17 Dayawan Loom Weavers, kabilang din sa mga grupong napasailalim sa Sustainable Livelihood Program ng DSWD sa Barangay Dayawan ang 27 fish farmers, 22 dressmakers, 7 rice retailers, 21 palapa food processors at 6 na beads makers. Sa ngayon ay inaantay ng iba pang miyembro ng Dayawan Loom Weavers ang karagdagang 10,000 piso na cash grant ng DSWD-12. Kasalukuyan din sinasanay ng mga ito ang mga sumusunod na henerasyon ng kabataan para maipagpatuloy ang tradisyon ng paghahabi sa Barangay Dayawan ng Marawi City.
Magpasalamat kami at least na tinulungan kami.
The 9 Filipinos on board an Air Niugini flight that crashed into a Pacific lagoon in Micronesia on Friday were declared safe. In a statement, the Department of Foreign Affairs said it has provided assistance for the 9 seafarers who were on board the Boeing 737-800 flight. Consul General Marciano de Borja of the Philippine Consulate General in Agana reported that the Filipinos were on their way to the Philippines for a vacation. Their plane was about to land at Chuuk Island Airport but crashed into the sea instead. All 46 passengers and crew were accounted for and no one was reported missing. The Consulate General is coordinating with the airplane for the recovery of their luggage. Air Niugini is the flag carrier of Papua New Guinea.
The People's Television Network, PTV4, is co-producing a TV special showcasing the One Belt, One Road initiative with the China Global Television Network, or CGTN, and the Lao National Television, LNTV. The program, entitled Vision into Reality, will be airing on October 3, and it's produced in celebration of the One Belt, One Road's 5th anniversary next month. Chen Pan, producer of the CGTN's World Insight, said the show seeks to create a global audience branding among members of the Belt and Road News Alliance. The Philippines and Laos, both Southeast Asian countries, were chosen to co-produce the show based on good investment and cooperation under the Belt Road Initiative, or BRI. Chen said they tried to find countries that have good BRI investment and cooperation. The Philippines is one of the best choices because there has been improved relations since President Rodrigo Duterte took office. CGTN Premier TV host Tian Wei will be co-hosting with Presidential Communications Operations Office, or PCOO, Secretary Martin Andanar and LNTV's news anchor Silafet Sufaksoni. Aside from China and Laos, the program will also be aired in the United States, United Kingdom, and Africa as CGTN covers the respective countries.
The Philippine Army's 2nd Infantry Jungle Fighter Division kicked off its 40-kilometer Bike for Peace race on Saturday morning. Colonel Marceliano Teofilo, Chief of Staff of the 2ID, led bike run from the headquarters of the 80th Infantry Battalion in Baras, Rizal to the finish line in Camp General Mateo Capinpin in Tanay. 2ID Commander Major General Roderick Paraino led the awarding of plaques to the winners. Paraino also thanked and congratulated all of the participants for hurdling the bike race, which was the opening salvo for the observance of October as Peace Month. He said the month-long series of events advocates not only health but fellowship as well. Other upcoming events include a basketball tournament, golf trekking, bingo social, towering, trade and food fair, among others.
Jerwin Ancahas remains as the IBF Junior Featherweight Champion after scoring a split draw against Mexico's Alejandro Santiago at the Oracle Arena in Oakland on Saturday, Philippine time. The Panabo, Davao del Norte native defended his belt for the 6th time. Ancahas had a solid start in the first 3 rounds. Santiago, however, began picking up the pace in round 4 and the fight became tight from there. In the end, only one judge had Ancahas winning, while another judge scored in favor of Santiago and the third judge scored a tie. This is the second career draw of Ancahas, who failed to win for the first time after 18 bouts since sharing the spoils with Ervin Namo in 2010. On the other hand, Santiago scored a draw for the 5th time in his career. Tourists now have new reasons to explore Macahalar Bay in Mindanao as locals report the reappearance of rare shark species in the area.
The sharks once swam in the country's seas until their numbers dwindled. Maricor Zapata has the story.
At least 5 whale sharks have recently been spotted by fisher folks in Macahalar Bay in parts of Talisayan, Misamis Oriental, and the island province of Camiguin. Former Land Transportation Office Director Oscar Salcedo witnessed the sightings and posted it on his social media accounts on Sunday. Salcedo said some fishermen had observed the whale sharks and megamouth sharks in Misamis Oriental waters before, particularly in the municipal waters of Balingoan and Talisayan. In past decades, Talisayan used to celebrate the Tawiki Festival because of the abundance of whale sharks in the area. But whale sharks here have slowly diminished in number because of illegal fishing activities. In 2016, Talisayan Mayor Romel Maslog planned to have some whale shark sightseeing tours to attract tourists and perk up local tourism. But whale sharks had suddenly disappeared with no apparent reason at all. The whale sharks have distinguishable patterns of checkerboard and spots except on the bottom part of the body. As whale sharks abound throughout the Philippines, a number of tourism sites showcase so-called feeding aggregations, or where people can feed the world's largest known fish. Among such sites, which are lucrative tourism enterprises, are near the coast of the Ticoburias Pass in the Bicol Peninsula, the Bohol or Mindanao Sea around Siquijor and Cagayan Islands, and the Puerto Princesa Bay in Palawan. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's top stories. Solicitor General Jose Calida insists that Senator Antonio Trillanes IV has no copies of his application for amnesty or admission of guilt for his various acts of rebellion against the government. The International Monetary Fund supports the passage of the proposed rice tariffication bill. The Philippines ranks 13th place among the world's tourism powerhouses, and 9 Filipinos on board an Air Niugini flight that crashed in Micronesia are declared safe. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter.
For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites.
And that's your daily dose of the latest news
and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I am William Theo.
And I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Good day.